like Nate. You didn't do it how Nate did.
This is better. Yeah.
Like the kiss?
Yeah, it was good. Not as good as Nate's though.
See, I got turned off straight up when I kissed him.
Slow down.
Yeah, his tongue really hard. And
I really don't get it. The fact that Trent is very excited that he's kissed Georgia and is bragging to his friend about the kiss and sort of saying to one another, they're saying, oh, you know, we've done this to Nate before, you know, this will be the second time. And they think they're all that. And yet you have Georgia, Sav, and Abby dragging for filth. The way Trent kisses is hilarious. And I love the fact that, you know, Georgia was honest with Nate and told him, I kissed Trent, but your kiss was better. And I'm like, I'm here for this. This is what I live for. The shade. I hope Georgia realizes that she's got it good with Nate. And I think Tasha coming in and saying she likes Nate is going to keep her with Nate. Well, I hope so. Anyway, fingers crossed. Anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island Australia, Season 5, Episode 15. I'm here for Nate. I love Nate. Everybody knows I love Nate. And I love his confidence. The fact that, the islanders go for drinks and Nate has a conversation with Georgia because this is his first time speaking to her since the challenge. And, they get into the conversation. I like how they brought up the conversation about the challenge and how Georgia picked Nate and why she picked Nate. And it wasn't very sort of confrontational or very argumentative. No, it was so easygoing that, she felt comfortable enough to tell him that I was going to pick somebody else, but I picked you because you make me feel comfortable. And Nate was, well, I know what I bring to the table. I don't need to sort of make a big deal or make a fuss about anything. I know who I am. I know what I bring. And so it's up to whoever I'm in a couple with. He more or less said, it's up to you to recognize that and feel that you deserve that or not. If you don't, keep it moving. And she actually said that Nate said, do you, and if you come back, you come back. If you don't, you don't. And sadly for me, I remember I put this in the comments. The problem is, I think there's a lot of envy, there's a lot of jealousy, there's a lot of entitlement when it comes to the guys, because it seems the girls all find Nate attractive. And what's happened is any girl that has either chosen Nate or that has drawn close to Nate, someone else has come and said, no, I want them. So Nate initially was picked by Lucinda, and because Lucinda really liked him, Zach was able to sort of talk badly about Nate until Lucinda turned her head and she was with Zach. And I think Lucinda, to some extent, she still holds a grudge that Nate didn't like her as much as he liked Tia because of the conversations she was having with Georgia. That's my opinion. And the fact that she would leave Nate for Zach, I don't get it, because Zach has been very toxic, very disrespectful, very patronizing, very derogatory towards Lucinda. So I don't know what she likes about him. With Tia, we know the same thing happened. Tia self-sabotaged in the sense that she came across as very selfish and self-centered. And when Nate tried to be compassionate and empathetic with Abby, she couldn't handle that. And so, they broke up. And then we had Abby. Abby really liked Nate. She said she liked Nate. And when she expressed that she liked Nate, a lot of pressure was put on by Reed for her to pick Reed over Nate. So she closed herself off Nate. And one thing I've noticed about Nate is once you move on, he never follows you. He leaves you to wherever you go and it's up to you. And I've never seen him sort of entertain anyone coming back after they've moved on. So Abby, I know someone is saying, oh, he needs to have conversations with Abby. I think with Nate, that door is closed from his side. I think Abby would have to do a lot of work to win his attention back and to get him to sort of be interested. Because I think for him, once you've moved on, you've moved on. There's a reason why you move on and it's time to forget about you. And so I feel like the same thing is happening with Georgia in the sense that when Georgia came in, and the guy saw how beautiful she was and she chose Nate. Then Trent decided, oh, I don't, let me be very vocal about my dislike for Sav and let me make my intentions known. I feel this was a plan that was what was arranged or was discussed by Zach and Trent, and they decided to have Trent go after Georgia. And if Georgia is naive or blind and she decides to pick Trent over Nate, then that's her loss. That's her loss, because she's just going to be sort of setting herself up for the same treatment that Lucinda's receiving from Zach, and I don't think any girl would like that, so that's up to her. Anyway, I digress. So we then have this conversation between Tyra and Aiden. Obviously, she rehearsed the conversation with Nakia, and she sort of more or less breaks up with him. I saw it coming. I really did. I think the moment she started comparing him to Ben, I knew it was only a matter of time before they broke up. And sadly, they've broken up. And I don't know what's going to happen to Tyra, because Tyra would have been better off with Kale. I think they would have been an amazing couple had they not sort of all catered to Nakia. And it seems in the villa at times there are people who are treated in a certain way, whether it's the producers who push for certain relationships. I don't feel like Aiden was ever it for Tyra. I think Kale was more it, but hey, it is what it is. The Islanders receive a text message that the hideaway is open. They all offer up Zach and Lucinda. Am I surprised? No. Do I think they should have gone? Well, somebody had to go. Tyra's already been, and I don't think Nate is that sort of guy who would want to take anyone to the hideaway. Besides, Georgia said she would never have sex on the show, so I don't know. I don't get Lucinda's excitement, and I don't get their I love you and stuff. I really don't get that relationship, and I don't get where it's going or where it's coming from, and I don't get why Lucinda gets all giddy for someone who treats her with so much disrespect. And so I don't know. We'll see, but it's frustrating. I don't know how long my joy will last, but at the moment I'm excited. So you have Trent sort of take Georgia to the terrace to have a conversation, and then he really was trying to kiss her, and so they were talking about her toes until he kissed her, and for her to give him a fist bump afterwards tells me that she wasn't feeling him. She wasn't, but I think the producers just said to her, you need to appear scrambled. We don't want you to make it so obvious that you're really not into Trent, because how do you kiss someone and then you give them a fist bump? Make it make sense. That shows that it's more like a friendship vibe. And how bad are Trent's kisses that girls are easily turned off as soon as he kisses them? I remember he kissed somebody else and they said his kissing was terrible. So I don't know. I think Sav is the only one who seemed to enjoy it. Anyway, so you have the Islanders. The boys are sort of chatting while Trent is on the terrace with Georgia. And Nate is sort of saying, I just wanted to be honest with me. I want to know where I stand. More or less, that's what he was implying. And I like the fact that they were laughing that, yes, he's going to try to kiss her, but hopefully the kiss is bad. That which is completely put off. I think everybody knows Trent is a bad kisser. I wonder how bad. I don't know why Sav didn't train him how to kiss better. But hey, it is what it is. And then when the Islanders go to bed, you have these conversations. I like the fact that Georgia ran straight to Nate and told him, I kissed Trent. And he asked her, how was it? And she just went, More or less like, it wasn't that thing. Because how is she telling him that she kissed somebody? And then she starts making out with Nate in bed. And then she starts kissing Nate. And she's pulling the duvet to cover the two of them. Which tells me that she didn't feel anything with Trent. But the producers want us to sort of think, oh, Nate is in trouble, Nate is in trouble. If she goes to Trent, then I feel it's the producers who will have pushed her to go to Trent, but I think there's nothing there. Nakia is having the time of her life. She's having the time of her life with Andy. The way she's making out, I wouldn't be surprised if she crosses the line, because I think she's one of the girls that said they would never have sex in the villa, but it's starting to look that way. And then for Zach and Lucinda, whatever they were doing, it was like bunnies. And it's like, what are they doing under the duvet? Only the two of them know, but hey, it is what it is. So in the morning, there is a sort of a semi-debrief, because you have Lucinda having a conversation with Tyra and Nakia and sort of telling them that, Zach told her he loves her and she told him she loves him too. And they are all excited. And it's like, I personally don't see why you're excited. This man hasn't done anything amazing for this girl that I would want my friends to put up with. So the fact that he's told her he's loved her, he's more or less love bombed. He's had this fantasy and he's been able to live out his fantasy with the girl that he saw on TV. That's my opinion of him. He was busy telling, Trent, we said we love each other. And they are ecstatic, I think, because they think, oh, Zach's in a permanent couple, so he's never going to leave. It's like, okay, it is what it is. And then you have... this bit was interesting. You have Sav sitting with Abby and Georgia, and they're sort of asking about, what happened between you and Trent. And she reveals that she kissed Trent, and they sort of ask her that, how was the kiss? And she's like, it was okay. But Nate is still a better kisser. So I'm sort of in between the two. I think she's not really feeling Trent, as I've said before. And then for the girls to start mocking Trent's kissing, oh my God, because Abby started describing it. Jojo was trying to be, a bit more classy with it, but Sav joined in, and they are the three people that, outside of Tia, that Trent has kissed, so his kissing must be that terrible. While Trent is busy bragging that, oh, I managed to kiss, Georgia, and they're sort of bragging with Zach that they did the same thing. They took away the girls that Nate was interested in, and it's like, well, there'll always be another one that will come in and will like Trent. Eventually he'll find his person. He'll find someone who appreciates him for the man that he is, or not the man that they want him to be. I don't know. They're very silly. And then, oh my God, Tyra then let the cat out of the bag that something was going on with Nakia in bed with Andy, and you can see, I don't think Lucinda was happy. I think Lucinda likes being the one in the stable couple, or she thinks she's in the stable couple. So the idea that somebody else might be finding a connection with someone, I don't think she likes that. And also she doesn't seem happy with the idea that Georgia was talking to Nate all night and making out in bed, and it's like, that's none of your business. I feel like she's jealous of Nate, and she doesn't want, because she couldn't have Nate, she doesn't want anyone else to have him. That's the impression that I'm getting. So the guys receive a text message to say that they will be going on a boat on a day out. And the excitement, you can tell they know that a bombshell is coming in. The likes of Reed is overexcited because he's not in a romantic couple with anyone. As well as Aiden, he's excited. And so the girls are sort of stressed because they're now starting to worry about what's going to happen. Nakia really likes Andy because she's been so jealous and possessive with Andy, whereas with Kale, she was very relaxed. And so I have a feeling that she really likes him. And so they go on their date, and sadly, they don't have the boat that they were expecting. They have to sort of paddle their boat out to their little boat, two-man boat to sea. And then they meet Tasia. The desperation on Reed, the fact that he had to jump out of his boat to go and greet her, is shocking to say the least. But she says she likes guys that are tall, dark, and handsome. So my thought is, if Georgia screws up and dumps Nate, I hope she picks Nate. I hope Tasia picks Nate because she looks stunning. I love her already. So the girls are back at the villa. They're just, relaxing, trying to sort of come up with ideas to keep themselves busy and not stress about the new bombshell. They know a girl bombshell is coming. And then they receive a text message that a guy is coming. And the way they ran, oh my God, especially Abby's desperation was showing because she was the fastest to go up the stairs. Sav had to be crass. Oh, why are they telling us 5 minutes? It takes me 5 minutes to pee. And it's like, Sav, you've been told about some of the comments that you make. Try and, a bit of etiquette. Try and be a bit of a lady in the streets and, freak in the bed. But hey, it is what it is. And surprisingly, Lucinda's getting herself ready. And the girls are asking, why are you getting ready? You've come from the hideaway. You've told each other you love each other. I think there's a jinx on the hideaway because every couple that's been to the hideaway, when they come back, well, it's only been Ben and Tyra. They've broken up. So I hope she breaks up with Zach. I'm really not feeling her and Zach. But hey, it is what it is. And so Seb, the new guy, he's good looking. He is good looking. He looks like Trent, but he looks more classy and more educated and more sort of highly intellectual than Trent. I could be setting myself up for disappointment, but hey, that's my first impression of him. He's not as follow the leader as Trent, whereby he'll just follow anyone just to be popular. So he has a conversation with the girls and he decides to start off with Tyra. I think with Tyra they'd make a cute couple. I think he's very sort of intelligent enough to cope with Tyra, because Tyra seems like she's someone who's highly intelligent. So I hope it works out for her. I really wanted to find her person. I thought Aiden was it, but hey, it is what it is. It's interesting that the girls are getting individual dates, whereas the guys are sort of having dates in throuples, sort of like there's 3 of them every time they sit down with Tasia. So first she sat down with Zach, Nate, and was it Aiden? Yes, Aiden. And I didn't get that sort of combination. Anyway, Zach is, I'm completely closed off. And I'm like, does he know that Lucinda said that, Seb is his type? Nate, one thing about Nate is he's loyal and he's genuine and he's honest, because he told her, I'm in a new couple, so my energy at the moment is focused on that person. He could have easily said, I'm in a new couple, so I'm open to, exploring connections and whatever, but he's very respectful of whoever he's in a couple with. And I think once, Georgia says, we're done, he will let it be known that he's single, but he'll always be loyal to the person he's in a couple with, which I respect. Aiden's obviously explained that he's single, they've just called it quits. And then you have Seb have a conversation with Abby. I have a feeling if there's a coupling, Abby's going home, because her date or her conversation with Seb was so dry. The way she kept saying, I love the land, I love the land. I don't know whether she doesn't like him or whether she's still stuck on Reed. There's something about Reed that the girls that he couples up with, they're always stuck on him and he's completely moved on, which doesn't make sense. On the other side, Reed is on a date with Tasia and Trent and who's the other guy? With Andy. And he's, oh my God, the way he was putting in the pressure and the way he was trying to make her laugh and sort of stand out, I have a feeling she's going to couple up with Reed, because Reed has this way of treating the girls like, you're very special, I really like you, there's no one else like you. And so they become tunnel visioned and they focus on him, and then he ends up telling them, well, I'm actually not feeling it. So hopefully Tasia is smart and she doesn't put all her eggs in Reed's basket. You have Sab have a conversation with Sav, and Sav is a nice girl. She's got a very good sense of humor, but I think her crassness is the thing that puts off all the guys, some of the comments that she makes. Although they seem to get along way better than Seb did with Abby, and they really were laughing and enjoying each other's company. So I have a feeling they're going to keep Sav, because she's the toxic mess that they want in the villa. So the producers are never just going to send her for no reason. So after the conversations, we didn't get to see Lucinda's chat with Seb, so I don't get that. Anyway, the boys come back from, their day out, and turns out Seb is friends with Trent, and it's like, oh my God, why? We don't need Trent 2.0. And Zach's face fell as soon as he realized that, Trent had his close mate in the villa, because I think he's enjoyed having Trent be his sidekick. He actually even said that, as long as he doesn't take Trent's love away, that's fine, but if he does, then we have a problem. And it's like, what problem is it? You're not there for best buds, you're there to find your girl. You found your girl, it's time for you to go home. And then the girls, so they went for a debriefing, and while they were chatting, they were asking Taisha, who's your favorite? And she said, first look, Nate. And I'm like, yay! Georgia nearly passed out. Because Nate is amazing. So I think she now has to decide that, does she want to float the boat and, risk it, or does she want to hold on to Nate? Because if she lets go of Nate, Tasia is waiting and ready to pounce. And I love this for Nate. Obviously, she wouldn't say about the other guys. She just said they've got good personalities and they're very funny. But Nate is the one she sort of said was her first, person that she was attracted to, which made me happy. The guys, for Zach to try and push Tyra onto this new guy Seb doesn't make sense. Who does he think he is? Zach thinks he runs the villa. In my opinion, I think Zach thinks he runs the villa. He dictates who is in a couple with who. So he's told, Trent to go after Georgia because I think he doesn't like the fact that Nate is happy with Georgia. Now he's telling, Seb to go after Tyra, and it's like, why? That's none of your business. You're in your couple. No one's forced you to be in that couple. You need to take a seat somewhere and wait. And you could see Aiden wasn't happy. He realized that he was in trouble because of the way they were pushing, Seb to go after Tyra. I really don't know how I feel. I just hope that for some reason, if Seb is going to couple up with Tyra, I hope he realizes that Zach is not a good look, and I hope he treats Tyra better than Zach has treated Lucinda. And I also hope he doesn't become part of the Musketeers. He doesn't join that group, because then it's going to just be toxic. I like the idea of him pulling Trent away from Zach. That's going to be enough TV for me. That's going to be hilarious, because Zach is going to be out in the ocean with no one else but Lucinda. But we'll see how it plays out. As long as Nate is safe, I'm happy with that. And apparently, Kale is coming back, so that's going to be interesting. I don't know whether Tyra would be happy to try and pursue anything with Kale now that he's already dated Nakia, and given how things ended with Nakia, I think she would need a green light from Nakia. So the producers are trying to be toxic, so it's going to be interesting to watch. Anyway, it was a great episode. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 14. Bye.